who it was or what it was. It's how it is. Okay. We're going to solve quadratics by graphing. This literally not hard. As long as you pay attention, you're going to be fine. What? No. To solve equations, you are going to need to find, and they're called the same thing's called three different things. Okay? You're going to need to find your x-intercepts. Desmos will give those to you. Your x-intercepts are written as a coordinate, just as you see them on Desmos. Just write them down. Okay? X-intercepts are also known as roots. So if something asks you to find the roots, you're finding the x-intercepts. They're also called your zeros. And they're also called factors too, but we're going to talk about that on Friday. Okay? Those three all mean the same thing. Ryan, either put it on my desk or up here. This is getting ridiculous. There's three types of solutions. If I graph this one right here, why do you think there's two solutions to that graph? Why do you think, Luke? There's two x-intercepts. Boom. Boom. There's two x-intercepts. Is that how every single parabola looks, though? No. How else could it look? Up and down. It could go, well, this one opens up. You could also have one that opens down, right? So this right here, that parabola, does that have two x-intercepts? Yeah, it has one here and one here. So recognize it doesn't matter if it opens up or opens down. If it crosses twice, it has two solutions. Two x-intercepts, two solutions. What do you think is going to happen if it has one? One solution. How many times is it going to hit that x-axis? Once. Nope, just once. If it's got one solution, it's going to hit once. So it's going to look like that. It's going to bounce right back up. Okay? It's going to bounce right back up. That's opening up. That's opening down. It hits just once. Make sure you're writing these down. This is going to be helpful. And once I'm done with notes and you look at us and say, I don't know what to do, we're going to say, too bad. Open your notes. Everything will be on here. Okay? Two solutions hits twice. One solution hits once. What do you think no solution means? It doesn't hit at all. So it could look like that. Does that have any x-intercepts? No. Yep, just Y. What about this one? No, never hits my x-axis. Okay? It never hits my x-axis. 2, 1, or none. Okay? Those are my three options. Now, here's how we're going to solve them. We're going to make sure the equation is equal to 0. It's got to be equal to 0. We're going to replace the 0 with the y. Then what are we going to do? Graph it. Where are we going to graph it? We're going to look at Desmos. We're going to find the vertex. And we're going to use the a value to graph it. Then we're going to find our x-intercepts. And then we're going to write our solutions. Now, I did not tell you to get Desmos out for a reason. You're going to follow along with me. Okay? So, open up the first one is right here. First question, does it equal 0? Does it equal 0? Yes, okay? So step 1, it equals 0. Step 2, it says replace the 0 with what? Y. So I'm going to say y equals negative x squared minus 6x minus 9. Equals 0, say equal to y. Step 3 says I'm going to do what? I'm going to graph it. How am I going to graph it? I'm going to plug it into Desmos. You guys don't have Desmos open, I do. So I'm going to type in y equals negative x squared minus 6x minus 9, right? Thank you. Okay, now, look. Desmos immediately gives you, what is this point on the graph called? That's your vertex. Do I always want you to graph your vertex? Yes. So Desmos gives it to us, right? So what's the coordinates of my vertex? Negative 3, 0. So if I'm going to graph it, how do I graph negative 3, 0? How do I graph negative 3, 0? How do I graph the point negative 3, 0? Which way? Go left 3, and then what? Just stay right there, right? There's negative 3, 0. But how many points do I usually want on my graph? At least 3, right? Well, I have 1. How do I get my other 2? Ooh, don't go down 6. What's my A value? What does A equal? A is negative 1. So how do I use that? I'm going to go down 1 and then to the right 1. So I'm going to go down 1 to the right 1. But that's only 2 points. Then you got to reflect it over. Okay? And you got to reflect it over like so. Now, my next question for you is you're always going to want to graph your x-intercepts if you have them. Do I already know what my x-intercept is? Yeah, what is it? Negative 3, 0. How many x-intercepts do I have? 1. Okay, so I already have it graphed, so I can just make my little U and go down. So, how many x-intercepts do I have? You have 1. I have 1 x-intercept. Your x-intercept should always be written as a coordinate. So go back here. What is my x-intercept? Negative 3, 0. Okay. Now, if I have 1 x-intercept, how many solutions do I have? Just 1 solution. You're going to have 1 solution. There's 2 ways we can write this. We ready? You're going to write x equals for both, just like that. So write 2x equals. But guys, if you're not staying with me, you're just writing it down later, I'm scared you're going to get lost. Jake, Jesus.
Well, I get a lot of snap here. Just, unplug it. Just unplug it, put it in the phone.
No, just, oh.
I get a lot of Snapchat.
Well, annoying. It's annoying. Now, here we go. Your solution is only your x value of your x-intercept. What's my x value of my x-intercept? Careful, what's my x value? Negative what?
3.
Negative 3. It's always that first number. So my solution is going to say x equals negative 3. You could see it like that. Or you could see it in that little set notation, those squiggles. I'm writing that down so that you understand if you see this on a test or a quiz, you understand that's also how it could be written down. I'm expecting that most of you will write it like this, and that's completely fine. Notice, are there any parentheses? No. No, don't write a parenthesis. Okay? Ready? Next example. What's the first thing we want to look for? Does it equal 0? Does it equal 0? Fabulous. If it equals 0, what do I do from there? Yes, you're going to replace it with y. So y equals x squared plus 8x plus 7. As soon as I have that, Ryan, can you not be messing with that, please? Can you pull it out, please? My pre-cal kids actually appreciate those to be on there, believe it or not. So stop putting it in there and just leave it alone. I literally said stop. So just leave it alone. Once I have this, where am I going? Desmos. So y equals x squared plus 8x plus 7. What do I immediately want to look for? Your vertex. Does Desmos give it to me?
Yes.
Click on it. What's my vertex?
-4,
-4, -9. So I need to graph it. How do I graph -4, -9? Go to the left. What?
4.
Don't you do it too. Go to the left 4 and do what?
Up 1. Wait, is it
Oh, careful.
down 1?
No, it's up.
Now 9. -4, -9.
Oh.
Right? Because you literally just take it right off of Desmos. As long as you type it in right, you're fine. Now, what do I use to get my other points? Use your A value. What does A equal in this case? 1. So I'm going to go up 1 to the right one and then reflect it. Now, what else did I tell you we want to graph? Your x-intercepts, right? Look at Desmos. Is this my x-intercept down here?
Yes.
No, that's my what? That's my vertex. My x-intercept where I hit this x-axis, right? Is that a pretty point? Is that a pretty point? Yeah. So can I graph it? Yeah. So -7, 0. Boom. There's my another x-intercept. Is that one pretty? Yeah. So graph it. So -1, 0. So somebody asks, I have 5 points. Sometimes you're going to have 5, and that's okay. You should have at least 3. At least 3. So then you're going to connect them with a U as best as you can. Mine's not very good there. How many x-intercepts do I have in this case? I have 2. My first one's at where? -1 comma what? Oh, careful. Read it right off of Desmos. -1 comma 0. And where was my other one? -7, 0. So if I have 2 x-intercepts, how many solutions do I have? How many x-intercepts did I have? How many x-intercepts do I have?
2.
I have 2 x-intercepts. So how many solutions am I going to have? 2. However many x-intercepts have, that's how many solutions you have. So you're going to have 2 solutions. X equals. Here we go. My x-coordinate of this point is what? -1. Comma. My x-coordinate of this point is? -7. There's my solutions. It's literally straight off Desmos. It's literally straight off Desmos. It's literally straight off Desmos. You don't have to do anything except type it in. It's not that difficult. Okay? Okay. Example 3. Does it equal 0? What does it equal? -4. But I want it to equal 0. So I need that -4 to move to the other side of the equation. How do I take this -4 and move it to the other side? You're going to add 4 to both sides. So I suggest you write this down. So you're going to add 4 to both sides. What? It's got to equal 0. It doesn't equal. Because it has to equal 0.
Oh, so
it doesn't equal 0, so you have to get it to equal 0. Now, it's got to be in standard forms. Hold on one second. Which one has the largest exponent on there? X squared. How many x squares do I have on this side of the equation right here? Just 1, so it's just going to bring it down. What's the next thing you should write? Anything with just an x. How many things have just an x? 1, so what is it? So -4x. And I would cross that out. What's left over I haven't touched? Careful. What's left over here, guys? Hold on. Let me answer this. What's left over here? That +4 is left over, right? Equal sign comes down. What's -4 plus 4?
0.
That's 0. What were you going to ask me, Luke?
But doesn't the +4 cancel out the other -4?
Now, careful. Does this 4 right here have an x on it?
Okay.
It's got to have the exact same variable, the exact same exponent. Okay? They don't cancel out. Does my equation equal 0 now? Yes. So what do I do? Set it equal to y. Yep, totally fine. Doesn't matter. As soon as you have that, we're going into Desmos. So x squared minus 4x plus 4. Oopsies. Okay. What do I immediately need to hit on Desmos? Come on, guys. We're almost done. Come on. What? Vertex. Boom. Can I graph it? Yep. Graph it. 2, 0. 2, 0. Boom. How do I get my other point? Use my A value. What's A? Careful. A is 1. It's always a coefficient of x squared. So up 1 to the right 1, up, and then reflect it. Now we need to graph our x-intercepts if we haven't. Do I already have my x-intercept graphed? I do. So I just connect them. Boom, boom. Jake, what did you just say? I'm sorry, I didn't hear. How do you know it's one solution? So we have one x-intercept. What is my x-intercept? You need to go back to Desmos. Nope. What's my x-intercept? 2, 0. X-intercept I want written as a coordinate. So my x-intercept is 2, 0. My solution is x equals 2. Don't switch the signs. We'll deal with that on Friday. You're going to just write it down exactly as you have it. Okay? I'm going to do one more together. What should it equal?
0.
Does it?
No.
What do I need to move?
The 8.
The 8. We'll care if I need to make the 8x. And I need to do what with it? You need to subtract. You need to bring it over to that left side. You need to subtract 8x from both sides. Okay. Largest exponent is?
-2 squared.
Right? -2x squared. What needs to come next?
The 8x.
You got it. Positive or negative?
Positive. Negative.
Good. -8x. What's the last thing I write down?
-9. -8.
No, you're right. -9 equals 0. Then I change that 0 to a y. Good. So -2x squared minus 8x minus 9 equals y. Where do I go from here? Put it into Desmos. So -2x squared. Jake, will you read it to me in just a second?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. -2x squared.
-8x.
Yep.
Minus 9.
Okay. Now, what do I immediately click on?
The
Vertex. Boom. Can I graph -2, -1? Yep. Graph -2, -1. -2, -1. Excuse me. -2, -1. Now I need to get my other point, right? So I'm going to use my A value. What is A? Down 2 to the right 1, and then I need to reflect it. What's wrong? Why do you know that? Okay, because when I go back to Desmos, do I have any x-intercepts? No. So I just need to connect these like this. So should I write 0 for my solution? I want one of two things. I want this. So I want that or that. Either one is completely fine. Either one is completely fine. Okay. Now, let me make this very clear to you. So it's a struggle in